Hey all, Fiorim here. Coffee Stain recently published a new video on YouTube stating that Update 6 will be released on early access in a few weeks. And I have two very large buildings in the areas affected by that change, so I desperately need to do some preparations. Firstly, my Mega Factory building is affected by this cliff. I measured the distance inside, and if I move the building north by 360 meters it should be clear again. I can't move it much more than that or I will reach the map border. I also want to move it by increments of 8 meters because it's now snapped to the world grid and one foundation is 8 by 8 meters. My oil factory needs to move as well, as it's literally built on the Spire Coast. It is actually surprisingly well preserved among all the cliffs around it, but the basement and the water extractors there look really bad. So I'll move it way up north where there's plenty of open water. 520 meters should be enough. The base is a bit over 200 meters wide and that cliff is over 200 meters away, so it should fit nicely here. You might wonder how I'm going to move these big buildings. I'm definitely not going to build them all over again, but luckily there's a way to use the save editor in the Satisfactory calculator's interactive map. You just drop your save game there and wait for it to load. Depending on your save file size, this could take a while as well as a lot of memory. I'll then find the factories I want to move, select them with the lasso tool and select the Move Selected Items Position action. You can then specify the new X, Y and Z coordinates for all the selected items. The measures are in centimeters, and since I want to move the items north, I decrease the Y coordinate by 100 for every meter. I wanted to move this factory by 520 meters, so I adjust the Y coordinate to negative 263,000. I do the same operation for the Mega Factory building, but this time I decrease the Y coordinate by 36,000. The last step in the Satisfactory calculator is exporting the save file. I ran into problems with Chrome here since it apparently limits the memory uses of individual tabs. After a bit of troubleshooting I found out that Firefox doesn't have the same problem, so I redid the whole thing there and it worked just fine. Once the file is exported, you just need to save it back to the save games folder. So let's launch Satisfactory again to see how it looks like. Well, it seems that it didn't work exactly as planned. Somehow the move action missed all the foundations and walls. I mean, this looks actually kinda cool, especially on the oil factory. I might experience with this technique in the future. But now I want to include the walls and foundations as well. So, back to the Satisfactory calculator where I quickly found the reason. It seems that it doesn't show foundations or walls by default, so they get excluded for the selection tools as well. Selecting them all might take a while considering there's quite a few of them, but here we go. And that's much better. Now the factories are properly moved and seem to fit nicely. I'll need to reroute the oil pipes leading to the oil factory, but I think I'll do that when the update 6 gets released on early access. It seems the factory actually runs perfectly fine even though the pipes are not connected. Apparently the game still thinks oil is flowing through them. The Mega Factory seems to be clear of obstacles as well. It's quite far into the sea now, but I think that actually looks kind of cool. My temporary train stations up north are now dangerously close to the map border, but I think I'll eventually just move the trains inside the factory building, so that shouldn't be an issue. And so my save is ready for update 6. I will continue building the nuclear plant and hopefully get it finished within the next few weeks. I am extremely busy at the moment, so I don't have much time to play the game, but I'll try to at least get a bit more active again. Stay tuned for that, and see you soon-ish.